Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Or maybe you've picked up your glasses only to realize they were already on your head. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and no, it doesn't mean you're losing it. Our brains change as we age, just like our joints or our vision. But here's the thing, just because change is natural doesn't mean decline is guaranteed. In fact, your brain is still capable of growing, adapting, and staying sharp well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But it needs a little help. And not the kind of help that comes in a bottle or a pill, but the kind that comes from use. Like a muscle, your brain needs challenge, stimulation, and variety to stay strong. That's where brain games come in, but not just any games. There are plenty of flashy apps out there that promise to make you smarter in 5 minutes. But what actually works, what's been shown to help with memory, focus, and problem solving, are the kinds of games that engage different parts of your brain in meaningful ways. And the best part? They can be fun, creative, and a lot easier to add to your routine than you might think. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 brain games that actually work, activities that don't just pass the time, but truly help you stay mentally sharp. These aren't complicated or high-tech. You can do most of them with a pen and paper, a deck of cards, or just a good conversation. And yes, they really can make a difference. Let's start with something wonderfully simple, word games. Now, I know that might sound old-fashioned, but don't underestimate the power of language. Playing with words taps into multiple areas of the brain at once: memory, vocabulary, reasoning, and even creativity. Whether you're doing a crossword puzzle, playing Scrabble with your grandkids, or just trying to list as many animals as you can that start with the letter B, your brain is lighting up in all the right places. The beauty of word games is they're flexible. You can play alone or with others. You can go old school with pencil and paper or use a phone or tablet if that's more your style. The key isn't how fancy the game is, it's how it makes you think. Next time you have a few quiet minutes in the morning, instead of reaching for the news, try doing a crossword or word scramble. You'll be amazed at how awake and mentally energized you feel afterward. Now, while words give one part of the brain a workout, another powerful tool for keeping your mind sharp is something many of us did as kids but forget about as adults: jigsaw puzzles. That's right, the classic puzzle you spread out on the dining table still holds incredible benefits. When you work on a puzzle, you're not just matching shapes, you're strengthening visual spatial reasoning, attention to detail, and short-term memory all at once. And here's what's even better: puzzles are calming. They bring you into the present moment. Your breathing slows. Your stress eases. And you're gently training your brain without even realizing it. I've known people who do puzzles every morning with their coffee or every evening before bed instead of watching TV. It becomes a rhythm, a peaceful mental reset, and over time, it makes a noticeable difference in how alert and focused they feel. If you haven't done a puzzle in years, pick up one with a beautiful picture, maybe a place you love or a scene that brings you peace. You'll find it's more than just a pastime. It becomes a way to care for your mind in the same way you care for your body. Now, let's talk about a brain game that's a little more social: card games. And I'm not just talking about poker or blackjack. Games like bridge, rummy, or even solitaire can be surprisingly effective in keeping your brain sharp. Why? Because they involve memory, strategy, quick thinking, and if you're playing with others, communication and emotional reading too. There's a reason why so many studies link social games to better brain health. They combine mental stimulation with connection, and connection is powerful medicine. Whether you're gathering around the table with friends, playing a weekly game online with distant family, or even learning a new game for the first time, your brain is working in ways that protect it from cognitive decline. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Even a quick game of Uno with your grandkids or a round of solitaire on your phone can help. What matters is that you're engaged, that you're thinking, responding, adapting. These games keep your mind nimble, and that's one of the best defenses against memory loss as we age. Now that we've explored how language, visual puzzles, and card games each bring something unique to the table, we're starting to see how keeping your brain sharp isn't about doing one thing perfectly. It's about giving it variety, joy, and challenge. The kind that makes you feel alive, curious, and connected. And speaking of variety, let's talk about something that doesn't look like a brain game at all: learning something new. I know, it might not sound like a game in the traditional sense, but hear me out. The act of learning, whether it's a language, a recipe, a dance step, or how to use a new app, engages your brain in a way that's deeply stimulating and protective. When we're young, our brains are constantly forming new connections because we're learning all the time. But as we get older, we tend to fall into routines. We drive the same routes, cook the same meals, talk to the same people. Comfort is great, but our brain thrives on novelty. And the good news is, it doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming to make a difference. Let's say you decide to try learning a few words in Italian, or figure out how to play a new song on the piano, or even just teach yourself a new card game. What's happening inside your brain is incredible. New neural pathways begin to form. Your memory sharpens. Your focus improves. You feel more confident, not just mentally, but emotionally too. And the best part? You're never too old to start. I've met people in their 70s and 80s who took up watercolor painting for the first time or joined a book club to challenge their thinking. You don't need to master it. You just need to try. That effort alone keeps your mind growing. Now let's switch gears a little and talk about something a bit more playful: memory matching games. You might remember these from childhood, flipping over cards and trying to remember where the matching pairs are. But this type of game isn't just for kids. It's actually an amazing way to boost short-term memory and attention to detail. There are all kinds of ways to do this now. You can play physical memory card games at your kitchen table, or you can download a simple app on your tablet or phone. Many of them are free, easy to use, and designed with older adults in mind: larger visuals, calming music, and no pressure to win. Just play. Watch how your brain begins to catch on faster over time. You'll likely notice improvement not just in the game, but in real life too, like remembering where you left your keys or why you walked into a room. It's those little wins that matter. And they build up. When you train your memory like this, you're not just exercising your brain, you're also building confidence in yourself. You stop second-guessing. You feel more capable. And that's a gift. Speaking of real-life mental sharpness, here's a game that blends the mental and the physical: reaction time games. Now, I don't mean fast-paced video games with flashing lights. I mean simple activities that gently train your brain to respond more quickly and accurately. For example, clapping your hands when someone says a certain word, or tapping your finger when a certain color appears on the screen. These kinds of games might sound silly, but they're powerful tools for keeping your brain alert and responsive. And that matters, because faster reaction time helps with more than just games. It affects how quickly you notice something in your path while walking. How fast you react to a question in conversation. Even how well you adapt when plans change or something unexpected happens. These simple exercises help keep your brain agile, so you feel more present and engaged in everyday life. There are plenty of apps that include reaction-based games, but you don't need technology to do it. You can play simple hand-eye coordination games with a friend or grandchild. You can even make a game out of household chores, like trying to remember where everything goes in the fastest time possible. It's all about keeping your brain on its toes. What I love most about these types of games is how they remind us that brain health isn't just about memory, it's about how we respond, adapt, and stay connected with the world around us. As we've seen, brain games aren't just about sitting quietly with a puzzle or staring at a screen. They can be physical, social, creative, even spontaneous. What they all have in common is this: they make you think. They challenge you. They wake you up a little. And they remind you that your mind is still alive, still capable, still learning. Now that we've explored everything from memory games to learning new things to reaction time training, we're getting a fuller picture of what it really means to exercise the brain. It's not about solving the hardest crossword or finishing a puzzle the fastest. It's about giving your brain reasons to stay active, reasons to stay curious. And curiosity really is the secret ingredient. Because the moment we stop being curious, we start to slow down mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Which brings us to the final brain game on our list, and maybe the most overlooked one of all, storytelling. That's right. Telling stories, whether it's to your grandkids, a friend, a neighbor, or even to yourself, is a powerful way to exercise your brain. When you share a memory, your brain lights up. You're pulling information from different parts of your mind, visual details, emotions, names, places, timelines. You're organizing thoughts, choosing words, reading someone's reaction as you speak. It's not just social, it's deeply cognitive. And the best part? It doesn't feel like a game. It just feels like life. Sitting with someone over coffee and saying, you know, this reminds me of something that happened to me back in '68, that's brain training. Writing down your life stories in a journal? Brain training. Talking to your grandchild about how you met their grandma? That's memory, language, emotion, sequencing, and it's keeping your brain healthy in a way no app ever could. Even listening to others' stories and asking questions strengthens your attention, processing, and empathy. So don't think for a second that your stories are just memories. They're mental gold. Every time you share one, your brain gets a workout, and someone else gets the gift of knowing you a little better. Now, let's take a breath and look at what we've done here. We've moved through games that involve words, puzzles, strategy, memory, speed, creativity, and connection. None of them require a degree or a gym membership. Most can be done from the comfort of your favorite chair. But the impact? It's powerful. Because what you're really doing is preserving your freedom. A sharp mind gives you the confidence to live on your own terms. To stay social. To make decisions. To enjoy your hobbies and relationships without fear of decline. And more than that, it brings joy. There's something incredibly fulfilling about solving a puzzle, finishing a story, remembering something you thought you'd lost. That spark, that pride, is fuel for your spirit. You don't have to do all 7 games every day. You don't even have to call them games. Just pick 1 or 2 that feel fun to you, that make you curious, that bring a little spark to your routine. Maybe it's doing a crossword with your coffee. Maybe it's setting up a puzzle table again. Maybe it's telling a story to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Those are real habits, real actions, that keep your brain alive and well. And if you've been feeling a little forgetful lately, or if you're worried about staying sharp as the years go on, just know this, there is so much you can do. Every day. Every moment. And it's never too late to start. If this video gave you something to think about, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, what's one brain-boosting activity you already enjoy, or one you're excited to try after watching this? Your story could encourage someone else to take that first step, too. And if you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps this message reach more people who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple, real-life tips to help you stay sharp, strong, and happy well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Your mind is still capable of beautiful things. Keep feeding it. Keep using it. Keep trusting it. Here's to growing older with curiosity, courage, and clarity. You've still got it. You always have.